Breeze Nation, what is good? It is your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always, man. Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC in the building, joining us live from heaven, apparently. What's going on with the light in the room, my G? Oh, nope, it looks like a room. But when you lean forward, up, look at that light. Look at that. Yeah. Look at that brightness change. We got to get you a camera.
Yeah.
As we got a lot to get into on today's episode. Michael Reinsdorf came out and spoke on, kind of what he feels the future of the Chicago Bulls could be here with this team. And he talked about what he feels the direction of this team is going to end up being. We got to react to that because JC not a fan of what Michael said. And personally, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I give him a little credit. I give him a little more credit than maybe I thought I was going to give him going into hearing him speak. All that more in today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We also got to talk a little Cade Horton here. I know you've called me the Cubs killer since I decided.
You put a curse on this team.
I did not. I did what you requested of me. I did what you requested of me at the end of last season. Oh, don't just cover the team when it's good. Cover the team when it's bad, too. Okay. Now I'm covering the team early in here. Now it's my fault. That exactly what happened last season is happening again.
This is the reason why I got the red hat on, because I feel this is the time.
That's nasty though. Ain't that that's wild, bro. Like.
No, it's not, because it represents how bad the Cubs are right now. That'll be a deep drive. It'll be a home run.
All that more on today's episode, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. I know what to do.
Come on. Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push the button.
You heard what she said.
Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. Y'all heard Sue Young. All right, let's start it off here, JC, because I think this is very interesting that we're on different ends of the spectrum on this one. I am not nearly as upset as you are about what Michael Reinsdorf had to say. For the first time, I'll be honest with you, I haven't heard ownership speak on the Bulls. Hey, bro, I don't think I've ever heard ownership speak on the Bulls. Hey, no, let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm tripping. Have you ever heard ownership talk about the Bulls after the season? Or after a fight?
I don't remember.
Never.
I don't remember.
Bro, I can't remember a single moment that ownership spoke on the Bulls.
No, just the Netflix special on the old Bulls. That's all. We all hear it was good Lord.
But with all that being said, Michael Reinsdorf went a lot of different directions, and I thought he was a little snippy with the media too. He was like, look, y'all gonna come here, ask some questions. Thought y'all was gonna ask me what kind of GM I want in the future. Stop playing with your boy. Also, we found out that the reporting all around, apparently a shot at everybody in that room, that there was an extension of AK and Mark Eversley was cap. I don't know if that's true or not, but if it ain't from Shams, he said, don't believe it.
One person doesn't say it. It's apparently not true, huh? Okay.
Well, I mean, listen, he owns the team. He's the one that's got to extend him. I guess he would know or not. But, JC, where do you want to start with this? You want to start with Billy Donovan? Do you want to start with the direction of the team and from Michael Reinsdorf's standpoint? Or do you want to start with, I mean, it sounds like Michael Reinsdorf learned a lot from this team.
Oh, did he? Yeah, well, here's where I want to start. I don't want to start in any of those directions that you mentioned.
Perfect.
I want to start with Michael Reinsdorf himself. Okay? These are my feelings and my feelings only, okay? Because I am about to crash out just a little bit. I'll still be respectful, but I got feelings that it makes absolutely no sense. You heard a man who went in complete circles. You talk about a direction. He went in circles. That's all I kept hearing is, okay, well, you know what? We have to make sure that the next person we bring in, he has full autonomy. I want to see what his vision is and the direction for the team. But if he doesn't align with keeping Billy Donovan, he's out of here. No, that makes absolutely no sense in the world. Then you sit here and you talk about when people ask you, well, what is your actual vision for what you want? What do you want moving forward in your GM process? He looks down at his notes. He says, oh, I want process oriented. I want conviction. I want a communicator. And he starts laughing because he's like, oh, we didn't have that really in our tours. He wasn't really good with, the guy. That was the only time I gave him a little bit of respect because I said, okay, that's true. But then why did you keep him around so dang long? Then he goes on this Presty glaze talking about, oh, the GM of the best team and the championship squad in OKC, and he's the best GM in the world. Well, why in the world did you not follow the blueprint of the best GM in the world when he actually mutually agreed to get rid of Billy Donovan after his 5 years in OKC because their alignment wasn't in the same direction? He didn't want to be a part of a team that was rebuilding. Presti saw the need to continue forward with a better coach. And now look at here. We got a championship and a team that's young and can still win multiple times for the next whatever window. But you got Billy Donovan, who you want to keep around as if he's the god of gods because he won championships at Florida? You think college championships equate to NBA success? He's done nothing. What are we talking about here? So for me, I didn't see him saying anything that was just enlightening. I saw him walking in circles. I also saw him, first of all, as a leader of the team. You need to be able to take on questions without getting offended. I understand that maybe the extension question caught you off guard. But to act and sit here and act like, I think it was the guy from the Bigs that asked the second to last question about Billy Donovan being here. I believe that was his question. But he pretty much kind of got offended, like, okay, all right, I think I know what you're asking. Are you saying that, what is it that I envision for this team, moving forward, and will the next person that I bring in have those traits and things of that nature? All right, let me ask this. It's like he got irritated with the question. And so for me, I feel like it's a lot of tongue in cheek. I feel like, again, like we talked about in the previous regime with the Bears, you have to cut it off at the head. Sometimes it's not just the VP and the GM. Sometimes it's the person running the whole show. And I've told you that before. Now, we've disagreed. You said that, hey, the Reinsdorfs are not going anywhere. You're not giving up $1 billion organization. I get that. But because of that, that's why this team is going to continue to be mediocre, because you have mediocre leadership at the top. I'm sorry, Michael Reinsdorf didn't give me any more confidence when he came to the podium. He looked as if he was rattled. He looked as if he didn't know how to answer certain questions. And for me, it was just a bunch of filler talk. I didn't come away impressed. I didn't come away thinking that there was actually going to be a clear direction. And again, you're talking back and forth. If you're not going to cut this off at the head and have the ability to bring somebody in who will have full autonomy, full control of seeing things his way, and you being open-minded to the fact that maybe Billy is not the answer here, then we're going to keep running back the same crap all the time. It's going to be another 5 to 10 years of mediocre.
I'm not mad at it. I like the fire. And here's the thing. I can't say you're wrong because realistically speaking, we won't know who's right or wrong until it plays out. We've seen the history of this team and it ain't good, right? We just laughed hysterically at the fact that ownership has never talked about this team publicly or at a press conference. Like I truly can never remember a moment where Jerry Reinsdorf ever sat down. But here's where I do we got to be educated in how we do this, right?
Okay.
They fired AK after 6 years. What is the length usually for a president of basketball operations?
Is it 5?
8 to 12 years. AK's not the GM. AK's the president of basketball operations. He just also makes the final decision on that. So you fired him ahead of schedule after it seemed like he wasn't the answer. So I give Michael Reinsdorf credit on that, right? I know as a fan, we want to get rid of people the second that it doesn't work out. That ain't how you deal with presidents of basketball operations. If you want to say you move on from a GM and you give AK another opportunity, he could have done that. Could have got rid of Mark Eversley, scapegoated him, kept AK, and said, you go find you a new GM, because clearly that's the problem. They moved on from AK technically early in this entire process. It's just 6 years of our life that we'll never get back.
All right.
The Other thing for me is keeping Billy Donovan. Now, again, y'all know my feelings on Billy Donovan. I don't think the Bulls are winning an NBA championship with Billy Donovan. I truly don't. I also would have told you that the Toronto Raptors weren't going to win a championship with Nick Nurse because he's not a very good coach, and he's kind of just the dude that's out there and making it work. I would have told you that Mike Budenholzer wasn't going to win an NBA championship with Giannis Antetokounmpo. I do like the fact, and again, I don't think that Billy's going to get you there. But I do like the fact that he's saying this is not a Billy issue. This is on ownership. Billy wanted Walker Kessler. You wouldn't got him Dalen Terry. Billy wanted Derek Queen. You wouldn't got him Noah Essengay. Billy wanted different pieces in the building. And we saw this play out, right? When we could have had Derrick Rose and Draymond Green, sweet baby Jesus, standing next to Joakim Noah. Can you imagine the punches thrown there? Jimmy Butler in the building. Hey, who we going to get? Marcus Teague. I'll kill you. By the way, if I'm being honest, one of my favorite podcasters in the game right now,
Marcus
Teague is hilarious, bro. He's so because he's just doing the show with Jeff, but the little jabs that he be throwing in there as well, they be so funny to me. But right, you went this. Oh no, I'm sorry, that wasn't Marcus Teague. Even worse, it was the Gums. Denzel Valentine.
The Gums.
It was the Gums. Yeah, you know, he tried to rap, but his gums got in the way. I like the fact that you're saying, and I think that we all believe this, right? I don't think that Billy's gonna win your championship, but if you give Billy good players, Billy can win. Right or wrong?
Wrong. You saw that with OKC, and to a certain extent,
he won. Billy Donovan's win percentage was 61%.
He didn't win a championship.
Sure, there's a lot of coaches that don't win championships that we want.
I'll put it like this. The best team that they had, and I agree that maybe this is one of the things that Michael did say, is that when we had Lonzo and DeMar and Levine and that cast, if Lonzo stayed healthy, that was the best version of what they were building.
Sure.
But he even admitted,
he said it wasn't
was
sustainable.
it good enough to get to a championship? No.
Well, he said it was a team that could win, but it wasn't a team that was sustainable long term because of the age of everybody there. So I agree with that, right? You gotta go younger, you gotta go with different people. But let's not say, right, like if the gauge of being a good head coach in the NBA is winning a championship, there's a lot of people that's falling short. Would you want Tyronn Lue on this team?
Yeah.
Does Tyronn Lue get that championship without LeBron James?
No, he doesn't.
You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, for me, with everything, coaching matters, but the players are the most important thing.
Sure.
Right? You're of the years that we talk about, Jimmy Butler dragging that Miami Heat team to the NBA Finals, Eric Spoelstra being the reason for that. How many coaches can we say are that? That's a one of one. Steve Kerr just looked terrible without Stephen Curry on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at it, I respect the fact that he's saying if we gave Billy the right players, he could have won. Because I think that's the truth of the NBA. I think all these coaches that we praise, Phil Jackson ain't Phil Jackson if Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan aren't there. It's too hard to be. You're not going to beat Magic Johnson without that.
I think you put more scrutiny on this the last couple of, what you say, 6 years of Arturas, because you thought that coming in, he was a savant at
scouting, at drafting. Yeah.
Scouting. Like everything that they did in Denver that led to a championship that nobody thought was coming was because of that, evaluating that talent and coming together. Like they put the pieces together perfectly. So you thought walking in the building, man, this guy is going to get it right. This is going to be fun. He has an eye for talent. He has an eye for foreign talent as well. With Mark Eversley on board, like this is a great duo.
Marko Simonovic.
Marko Simonovic is the next Jokic. I thought that would mean I even bought that dream for a hot second.
Well, you think Leonard Miller's good.
You watch your mouth. Him and Rob Dillingham are going to take over the
Rob
league.
Dillingham.
No, let me relax. I'm joking. But no, I do like Leonard Miller as far as a rotational piece. He's not a star. But the point is you didn't get it right. And your eye for talent, I feel like it wasn't there like we thought. And so that's why for me, I get, okay, a normal average for a GM or VP would be 8 to 10 years. So technically you cut it off at the head early. Yeah. Sure, we can, that's semantics for me. I feel like because you continuously saw him get bad at his job, I'm sorry, I would have let it go early. Like for me, I think the best organizations know when to get rid of a problem, even if it's quicker than it needs to be, because you're moving in a different direction.
We did get rid of him quicker than it needed to be.
No, I mean quicker than quicker.
But that's what I mean. Like
2 years ago.
Listen. The number one thing, that the bottom line of all of it, realistically, is like no organization. If you're getting rid of a president of basketball 3 years in, like he really effed up.
It's got to
right.
be
Like
the
Bulls, the first 3 years were a competitive team. We just got sick of the same things over and over again. We got sick of being in the play-in tournament. We made the playoffs that first year. You were in play-in. All of a sudden, you're out of the play-in. That's it. That's like, I think that's kind of where we look at it and we say we were done with the process. I love how Michael Reinsdorf said it though. Even that team wasn't sustainable. That's the best team that AK built for 36 games. And I think that you have to learn lessons from that. And it sounds like, in a sense, that he does. I'll be honest with you. The one thing that I heard today that really stood out to me with how the Bulls are going to move forward in this entire process, and that I think really like screams, hey, maybe he actually figured it out, is he did what he is planning on doing, essentially what the Bears did. He is admitting, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. And like, there's certain things I need to know. There's certain pushbacks that I need to have. I need to have certain questions available to me that I can ask when the next GM comes in or next president comes in and says these things. But we're going to get a search for him. And it is kind of crazy to think like, hey, we finna fire John Paxson, but before we do, go find the next guy to take your job, even though you couldn't find the previous guy to take your job. Hayes said that, and I was like, that's an insane thing that really happened here in Chicago.
That's crazy, bro.
Like, you told John Paxson, go find a guy that's not Gar Forman. He kind of found worse Gar Forman.
He did. And now he's going to use him again to be like, hey, I need you.
No, he's using a search firm this time, as long as Ernie Accorsi and Bill Polian are
I thought he said
it.
something about he's going to still,
I'm sure
with
that
John.
I'm sure that they'll still talk with John, like for traits and things like that. But here's the bottom line of it. I left this presser, and I think we're on very different sides of this. I left this presser feeling like you have a owner who cares, who gives a rat's you know what. Hearing him talk, hearing him say, this is what I want the next time we come through. Now, caring don't mean nothing. George cares. George has always cared. He sucked for a long time.
George. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, caring doesn't mean anything. But it felt like you had a guy that was like, no, I'm done with this. I'm tired of being the laughing stock. I'm tired of being embarrassed. I'm tired of us looking at this and saying we're the ones that made a mistake. He even called himself to the front. He said, listen, AK didn't have just autonomy to do whatever the heck he wanted. We needed to push back. We needed to ask better questions. We needed to look at the situation and be better as far as owners. Again, it could all mean absolutely nothing. If it's not successful, none of this means anything. But the one thing that I do give him credit on was he went up to that podium and basically said, I messed up. AK was a mess up. Billy's not the problem. And we've seen that in the past. Now, is Billy won a championship? No. But Billy did a heck of a lot of winning at an NBA level before we got to the point where, I mean, he hasn't won in what, 2 years? 3 years? 3 years? Like
you mean as far as a winning record?
His win percentage went from 60 plus to barely above 500.
It's trash now for the last 3 years. But here's my thing too. Like Michael Reinsdorf said that, and he doesn't foresee it happening, but Billy Donovan wants to not probably have a role in the front office, like what we talked about, where he
don't want to be a GM
coaching, but maybe he's the one who has an eye for talent. Like you mentioned, they didn't go the route of what he wanted in Derek Queen and other players that you put him on this team. They'll be they're a better team for the future and for the now. And so for me, if that conversation comes about, Michael already said, and I think Baki even put it in the chat, is that Billy has to make his own decision on what he envisions the team is going to be like going forward. You have to convince him to stay here. I know the UNC job has been taken by Mike Malone now, so he's not probably going the college route, but what if he doesn't want to stay because you don't have a definite direction and like a solid plan in place, a blueprint to say, this is how we're going to do it differently. And again, that's where I have the lack of confidence, because when you were asked that question, you didn't really have an answer until you looked down at your paper and like had to go over your notes and said, oh, let's hit these pointers. And this is the time. Of course you want somebody with conviction to come in. I'm sure that was the same thing you looked at when you tried to hire Arturis and Mark. They were convicted players. They were leaders with conviction. They were process oriented.
Yeah.
I'm sure those were things that they did. Are you claiming that they weren't doing that? No. What, like, so for me, I feel like, again, some of it was filler. I hear you and you thinking that, yes, he is passionate. I can tell that he loves this team, but what's love got to do with it?
Well, I think love means if you love it and you don't want to be there anymore, you spend more money. I think love means, and again, by the way, AK and them wasn't cheap. Like the Bulls were spending money. That's the problem, right?
Yeah,
AK was getting the bag, and he was losing for you like this. But the one thing I will say, like the Billy point, right? Like whether Billy stays or not, the concern that I have around Billy is that, you know, what's the pool going to look like here? The one thing that we can say, though, is Billy's respected. Billy is a coach. Like Chicago looks at Billy and they're like, oh, my God, why can't you make Trey Jones into Stephen Curry, right? Why can't you develop Kobe White into one of the best point guards in the NBA? Like, why?
Bro, did Kobe White just fall off, by the way? What has happened to Kobe White?
His role changed. I think that's the thing people don't get about basketball too. Like, you know this, like if you in a different role, it's GG's on you being the person that you are. You're not going to play the same plays.
Jesus. Okay.
You're not going to get the same shot. Kobe White's getting like 10 shots a game.
Yeah, I just was thinking about that on the side. Like, what happened to him? Okay.
Kobe White might be in the perfect role for him. He might not be, right? But like the bottom line for me with all of this is if we get to the end of this process, and I don't agree with keeping Billy. I want to be clear on that. And I know it sounds like I'm defending, but I don't agree with keeping Billy.
Not in that role. I don't
agree with making him the caveat whether you are going to go out and hire this coach or not. But if Bob Myers walks in the door and says, yeah, I love Billy Donovan, we'd love to work with him. Let's have a conversation. You got the guy you wanted.
What if he doesn't?
If he doesn't, find the right guy that's going to make this team good. Like, that's the bottom line of it all, right? If Bob Myers says no, because I think this is the funny part, right? We won't know until a few years here. Let's say Bob Myers says no. He don't want to do it. He goes down to Dallas. He takes that job where Cooper Flagg is already at. And name a person that's out there. Who's the other one? Mike Dunleavy Jr. Is the one they pick. I don't want Mike Dunleavy Jr. Let's say he comes in. He goes, all right, Billy, what do you want? You want this point guard here from here? Okay, we're going to get him for you. Who else you want? You want us to go sign him? All right, bet we're going to get him signed. What else you want? You need that? And all of a sudden, the Bulls start winning. None of us are going to look at it and go, oh, God, the process sucked. We're going to go, oh, the Bulls are winning again.
Yeah.
Now, if they lose, we all going to go, oh, God, the process sucked.
Yeah, same old Bulls.
I think that I respect the fact with Michael, and again, I don't agree with everything he said, but I do respect the fact that he's like, this is the path we taking and we're going to stand on it. We don't want to be a team that tanks. We want to have Billy Donovan as a part of this organization if he wants to be here. If he doesn't, we'll deal with that bridge when we cross it, right? Like, I think that the part of me that I actually give him a little more credit on than probably most people will is like, you want to talk about choosing a path. He literally said, we're not going to be a team that tanks, which means the Bulls are probably going to try to be competitive next year. We want to have a smart coach in place that wants to win, and we're going to get him better talent in the building. That's all I can ask for. As a Bulls fan, that's all I need. Now, I do want a championship. Get me a championship at some point.
I want sustained success, like you just said. And shout out to the chat, my boy V-Dog. He says, JC, have some faith. Jesus,
I don't know about faith.
Talking about the McCaff season the same way for decades until they admitted they weren't doing business properly. Yeah. No, I'm not going to have faith because this has been the same dog and pony show for a very long time. I don't have faith because, again, I didn't come away thinking what is the real direction. You don't have a GM and a VP, and you might be limiting your potential to bring in some of the best, like we just mentioned in Bob Myers. Because what my scenario is what if Bob Myers comes in the building and says Billy Donovan is not it? I know what success looks like at its peak. I've won championships. I have Hall of Fame picks in the draft.
Yep.
I got, the person that should have been here in Draymond Green. I selected Klay Thompson. We got a bunch of host of really good rotational players on the Warriors through the years. I know what it looks like. And Michael looks at him and says, we're standing with Billy Donovan. Man, look, that would be insanity. And so that's for me are you saying that that's how far you'll go for the loyalty in this coach if you have someone that has a track record of championship level winning versus what you have now? That to me shows that you're inept.
But your assumption is that Bob Myers don't want to work with Billy.
No, I'm saying that what if the scenario is
realistically, your assumption is that Bob Myers want to come here at all.
I hope.
You know what I mean? Like that's kind of where we're hoping for. But Bob Myers, let's be real. If you told me, hey, you got Kyrie Irving, who if you want him, he's a great player. If you don't want him, he's a trade asset. The teams definitely would want to go after. You got Cooper Flagg, who looks like he is just going to be an absolute monster and is dominating a ton here. You got Derek Lively, who's got some injury issues, but maybe you can flip him if you want to. You can hold on to him. You got your full host of draft picks to you. You want to come down here and build a team? Bob Myers probably going to go, yeah, that sounds pretty good. I did that before. There was already a really good player in place, and then I just had to get rid of Monte Ellis. Kind of, actually, the Mavericks might be the exact same situation as what the Warriors were before the Warriors got rid of Monte Ellis, actually.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So I say all that to say, we're making a lot of assumptions. I had to think about it. I'm like, that kind of the same team. I say all that to say, we're making a lot of assumptions that people are going to look at the Bulls and say, I want to be here. Now, what I do think is going to happen is that there are a lot of high-profile guys. There are a lot. Casey Johnson has already said, right? Joe Cowley has already said. There's a lot of names that want to work with Billy Donovan that are big names in the industry. Okay. Is it going to win?
I bet you I know why. Because there is not going to be a hot seat when they come in here. They know that, I have a few years to kind of not shuck and jive this thing like in a sense. They're not going to just play the game a little bit because we're still trying to get the residual of the AK and Eversley regime off of us. That stink off. But coming in, you have some time to get this right because you have to try and rebuild it from the studs on up. And so that's why I think it's an attractive destination. Yeah, because you're not expected to be like, you come right on in. This is championship or bust. This is playoffs or bust. No, this is rebuild, and you get some time to really make it what you want. So
I would disagree with that, though. I would say that I think whoever's coming in, he said it pretty like you ain't tanking, and we don't want to be in the play-in.
You believe that?
Do I believe that the Bulls
for
won't
the first couple of years? No, I mean that it won't go that way.
Michael says what he needs to say. It may go that way no matter what. You may just not have the talent to do it. But the Bulls have a lot ahead of them. They could possibly have 2 picks in this first round. They have nothing but money because nobody is under contract. So if you want to go out and sign superstars and call it a day, you have the ability to do that. Maybe AK's out the building, but we did already turn Giannis away. That may be jading him for the future there. But like, it's so funny too because like the whole Giannis thing was, you'd have had to give up too many young players and picks to get Giannis in here. And I'm like, you gave him away for Rob Dillingham, Leonard Miller, the Evangelist, and who did we even get from Charlotte? What did we get for Kobe White?
I don't know. Wasn't it Ousmane Dieng?
No, wasn't he a part of the Evangelist deal?
The Jake deal? I thought he was from. No, you probably.
I don't even remember what we got for Kobe. It wasn't much. We got a bunch of second round picks for you.
No, yeah, you're right. We did get a bunch of picks, yeah.
But no, like I think the bottom line is, like you could have had that guy in there. That was the point I was gonna make there. But like to me, with all of this, you're in a position where Chicago should be very enticing if you don't F it up. And maybe keeping Billy Donovan is effing it up. But I think how the fans look at Billy versus how the players versus how coaches around the league versus how management looks at Billy is very, very different. You never hear a player speak bad about Billy Donovan. And I
No,
mean,
that's
like,
true.
not even to the point where they like,
That's true.
you know, we didn't see eye to eye. They like, Billy got a lot of good stuff.
No, he's a player's coach. Young players love him. I remember even when Pat Beverly was on the team for a minute, he spoke highly of him. Said, "Man,
Pat
Billy got
Bell
some stuff,
loved
man."
him.
He said, "Billy got some stuff, man. He got some
Yeah.
stuff." You know, so yes, I'm not mad at the reputation of Billy Donovan. I love what he has, but for me, I feel like it's the Steve Kerr, Mark Jackson thing where you already know the ceiling of a certain coach and
Yeah.
you're not moving forward. You don't
Yeah.
have the
That's my
the
issue with it.
awareness to say, "Hey, we're capped here. Let's try to look for better." We're
Yeah.
not going to, attach ourselves too long to this person that only can get us this far. We need somebody that has a little bit more to win in the, in the moments that are the most important. And so again, that's what I'm afraid of too, is that you're limiting your potential as an organization when you're so loyal to a fault. To me, that's what it really is to me. I appreciate loyalty to a certain extent, but when you know it's not going right, or when you can tell that there's better out there, loyalty has to change. It has, especially when you're doing business, not on a personal level. When you're doing business, your loyalty has to change with the times.
The man's Nigel say, you never heard a player talk bad about a coach in general. That is cap. I have heard players air out coaches. Hey, listen. Hey, you should hear how players talked about George Karl while he was still in the NBA, leading the league in wins. Like,
Ooh.
they hated that.
They did hate George Karl. They hated him. Yep.
Listen, I agree with you. I've said it. I don't want Billy here. I would be happier if at the end of the year, Billy said, you know what? This ain't the spot for me. I don't like the direction. I think that this is going to be weird if it's like me versus the GM. I would rather he part ways and we'd be like, hey, thanks for playing the work version of our game. Shout out to you. If he does stay, though, I don't think that it's gloom and doom, because I think if you give him good players, we've seen what that can do. I don't think Billy Donovan's a worse coach than Monty Williams. I don't think he's a worse coach than Nick Nurse, than Doc Rivers, than name all these mothers that have won championship. We know why they won. You got to find a way to get him that guy. And although he did have two of those guys, I mean, that's kind of why I didn't want him.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, I don't think that it ends everything for the Bulls keeping Billy or getting rid of him. I would be pissed, though, if Bob Myers was like, Billy Donovan was the straw that broke the camel's back. I wanted to be the president of the coach, or the president of the Bulls, and they wanted to give me a coach. I wanted to pick my guy. You know what I mean? Like, I think both things can be true in that, and that's the one spot for me where I'm a reserved judgment. It's gonna be interesting. Well, I'm not gonna say it's over, but it's definitely gonna be interesting. Hey man, if you haven't done so, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. What'd you say, bro?
I said we'll see. It's like your Cubs take. I said I'm not going to panic until maybe a few games in. So just like the Bulls, we'll see.
Well, I think it's time to panic if you're the Cubs.
Shut up.
As we did get news today that
oh boy,
Cade Horton out for the season with a UCL injury. He will need surgery.
Oh my God.
Apparently, now every time I talk about the Cubs, I'm the problem.
You put a hoax on us.
Don't blame me.
Matt Boyd's down 15 days now. Cade's out.
You know what? Sounds a lot like 2024. Are you at all nervous at this point?
I mean, you can overcome certain things, but I mean, it was just the expectation and the excitement of Cade Horton really being one of your top prospects and really having a good season, a really great season last year, and building off of it. That's what you wanted to see. And so just from that aspect, it sucks because now he has to go through recovery. You know, you're out for the year, UCL, that sucks, but got to wait till the next year to see what he kind of brings along. I hope that it doesn't turn into, the days of old where we had Mark Pryor, even though he had more years where he was still good before he went down with a lot of just crazy injuries and didn't become what he would become. So that's the hope there. Overall with this team, man, you got to start winning. I already told you it's the relief pitching. It seems like that's not there and consistently. That's where they need help. They need help the most in their bullpen. They can't seem to find a way to get it to Daniel Palencia who was killing in the WBC, who killed last year. You can't use your closer unless he's there to close the game out in winning fashion. So that's the problem with the Cubs. Their bats are not hot either right now. PCA is not doing good. Yeah. Bregman is not off to a good start. So all your stars, quote unquote, that you just paid a lot of money for, Nico Horner too, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. So hopefully it turns around quickly because it is concerning.
Honestly, outside looking in, of course, because I'm not a Cubs fan, but like that's the part you should be least worried about if you're a Cubs fan, right? The bats are gonna hit. PCA is gonna find a way to hit the ball. Bregman's gonna hit. Like it's not like magically you walk into Wrigley Field and you go, "Oh, I got a hole in my bat now," right? Like I think there's going to be fun offensive days for you ahead. But at the end of the day, what wins you a championship? Never seen a team win a championship without a good pitching staff. Like, yeah, you can have all the bats in the world. You can put up 15. Don't matter if you give up 17.
Yeah, good rotation matters.
You have to find a way to get a good rotation. I'll tell you what, don't start the World Series dreams this year because you don't have it. You don't have a good rotation. You didn't address a good rotation. You want to know why? Everybody's sitting there. I couldn't wait until we got into the season when Jed Hoyer's talking about, I can't just think about the 2026 Cubs. I also got to think about the 2032 Cubs. Well, that's great. The 2026 Cubs can't get anybody out.
Yeah, that was dumb. What are we talking about?
Yeah, you do got to think about the 2032 Cubs. Okay, let's think about the 2032 Cubs. Who's the pitching prospect you excited about?
I don't even know.
You got one in the farm system? Anybody in the chat? Anybody in the chat? Who's the pitching prospect that you're excited about? Who's the pitcher? That's going to help you get people out.
No, we got a lot of bats that are prospects, not pitching.
It is the dumbest thing I have ever seen on the face of the earth. And the White Sox do it too, right? We traded our pitching for bats. Guess what? Garrett Crochet looks good. Chris Sale looks good.
Looks good.
What's old boy? He's got the stash now. I can't think of his name. Freaking
Oh, I know you're talking about.
Looks phenomenal.
Yeah, on
looks
San Diego.
Phenomenal. Lucas Giolito sitting at home. He's just waiting for somebody to tear an ACL. Although Lucas Giolito, you could go sign if you wanted to. He is sitting at home, so that could be an option for you.
Lucas.
Yeah, he literally hasn't signed yet, and I think he's doing two things. One, I think he's like, I'm gonna wait till some injuries start to pile up and see which teams are available. And two, I don't want to pitch when it's cold. And I respect that. I don't want to get my ERA high when it's cold. Let me pitch when it get hot out here. But like, it is mind blowing to me that we are 4 years into this at this point.
Yeah.
And we're talking about middle relief and starting pitching. Oh, by the way, if you're starting pitching, you're comfortable with Schulte's back. Oh, Schulte's got the ball going out. Boom, there it goes. All right. You think he's not going to start giving up the long ball when the rest of the team's bats wake up? Like, for this to be the conversation around this team that ended the Anthony Rizzo years, that ended the Javi Baez years, that started the PCA years, and that we're still talking about this is a shame. And I'm going to be real with you. Say what you want. Fire Jet. Start the chant. Fire Jet, bro. You got to fire him.
You think he's
if you can't find pitching this many years in a row?
Well, I will say this: if the starting lineup, starting pitching was healthy, they have a pretty nice tandem. I mean, James Taillon, Jameson Taillon. I always say James on.
The ISON that makes you go James on?
I always do that. I don't know why. Jameson Taillon, you got Cade Horton, Schulte, Matt Boyd, and then Justin Steele. Like if they were all healthy, that's a formidable lineup.
How long we've been saying that?
For about 3 years now. So that is the concern. It's like healthy or not. That
hey, listen. If it was a fifth, we'd all be drunk, bro.
I hear you. No, I hear you.
Like, and it's the fact that you don't have insurance for that. You don't have a prospect waiting for that. You don't have an answer for that.
Insurance for this?
Do you get service out here? I used to die laughing at them commercials. I think was it Sprint? It was like, that's my network.
Oh yeah.
Do you get service out here? like it's been. By the way, I'm not a Cubs fan. You see how fired up I am about this because I hate stupidity. It kind of makes me happy that y'all losing.
Yeah, no.
But I do hate to see stupidity be the reason that you lose. I'd rather you just lose because, like, it all fell apart. But Jed Hoyer is truly moving like a baseball moron. I have said this every year, and I have laughed coming. How long have you been doing the show with us?
It's been about 3 years.
About 3 years? Haven't I laughed at your Cubs every season coming into the season?
Yeah.
For the same problem? Have I changed my tune at all on what the issue is?
No. Relief pitching, bullpen. It gets us every time. And it's not like the Cubs don't go out and spend money. You got to spend money on the right players and attract them.
Listen, there was relief pitching available this offseason. You didn't spend on it because you're worried about the 2032 Cubs. There are trades that could be, bro, we are 2 weeks into the season. You said to me the other day, yeah, something we got to address at the trade deadline. How many deadlines? How many deadlines before you go to dress? Hey, nobody in the middle of the rotation can get it out.
I was hoping we could win a few more games by that time, though. It doesn't look like that's happening. Yeah.
It's just it blows my mind that we're still having this conversation. And I do think the bats will wake up. I do think the Cubs are going to win games. I do think that they're going to be a better baseball team than they have showed at the beginning of this season. But when the playoffs get here, the same problem is going to be the same problem. And guess what you're not going to be doing? Buying World Series tickets.
Yeah. When it matters the most, I agree. That's when things fizzle out. Your bats, you need great defense, obviously. And when those runs are not there, because usually in playoff games, there's low scoring and your pitching really shines through on your team, which is why the Dodgers, and they always find a way. They have very, very good pitching from starting to relief to closing. So got to find a way to figure this out. Hopefully they find a way, but no, I don't have any confidence right now in Jed either, but we'll see what happens.
Hey, man, I'm telling you, maybe I'm starting to chant early. It ain't my team, so it ain't my place. But if I was a Cubs fan right now, I'd be screaming to the heavens, get rid of Jed Hoyer.
Don Berg, get out the chat talking about our sports teams. Get out of here.
Not third place Don.
Don Burr wants to show up out of nowhere.
Is that third place Don?
That's third place Don.
Is that third place Don Burr in the building? Is that now I will say for fantasy purposes as a fantasy owner, I could use a big game out of Scooble tonight. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about as a fantasy owner?
I like to
but I know that's not Don Burr in here who roots for the Detroit Tigers, who gave up a 15-game lead going into the playoffs. I know that's not that Don Burr. Is that him?
Well, that might be him.
I know that's not my center retired before the season started, Don Burr. Is that him?
Oh, I know that's not Khalif Raymond wanted to follow Ben Johnson because he likes his offensive style better than the Bears.
I know that's not Broke Wings, Detroit Broke Wings over there, Don Burr. Is that him? Is that him? Is that the Don? I can't say nothing about the Pistons. I mean, listen.
Yeah, no, Pistons.
Puncture lung is crazy, but that team is cold.
And Michigan just won too. I hate that.
Oh, dang it. He did get Michigan. You son of a. Hey, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to Show Love as always. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. That's why he in here. Michigan won last night. Man, a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always, man. For Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, it is your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Let us know how you guys feel in the comments below. What do you feel about Michael Reinsdorf's exit conversation? What do you feel about where the Cubs are at, and is it time to fire Jed Hoyer? Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. See Red Nation, stand up if you can. I mean, there's a lot of sitting that's been done around this building for a long time, and I'm not doing the other one. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Peace.